79 of Doing It Scared. Hi, I'm Luke. I've been doing this challenge of 100 days of doing it scared. And basically, what this challenge is me doing something I'm scared to do and forcing myself to get uncomfortable and grow. And that's exactly what I've done. So I'm on day 79, and it's amazing the transformation that has happened on getting on camera because that's specifically what I wanted to try to do. Because I had this idea in my head that if I was going to be a creator or an influencer or any of those things, I needed to be perfect. I needed to have the right camera equipment, I needed to have the right lighting, I needed to have all this stuff, which stopped me from ever posting. And really, what I realized it was that perfection was just getting in the way of me doing this thing, which I was very scared to do, get on camera and talk, because I didn't feel like I had anything to talk about. I was insecure about what I did think that maybe I had to talk about, and I am blanking. So, this is just what I've been doing for the last 79 days. And the biggest thing that I can take from this is that it's been an awesome way to reflect on my day, but it's also been really incredible to get over the fear. And I think a lot of us don't do things because we're afraid to do it. And we come up with excuses of whatever, the perfection excuses. We don't have this, we don't have that. But at the end of the day, we are capable of showing up. All we have to do is open a camera and hit record. Or maybe you want to go up to a stranger and talk to them because you think they're good looking or whatever it may be. Then you just go up to them and talk and say hi. But we let fear just take control of our lives in so many ways. And part of this experiment has been me getting over my fear. And something else that I've done, which is really interesting, is I've grown this beard out. And it might sound silly, but growing up, I was really, really fat. And I never really considered myself good looking. And I've been very vain my whole life, and I've cared about it. So I worked out and I lost a lot of weight, and I tried to build up myself to where I felt like I was okay with how I looked, and I never really got there. So part of this 100 days of doing it scared, I decided just to grow my beard out while I was doing it because I don't like it really that much. I think when I go out, I'm shy about it. I'm embarrassed by it. And that's another thing that I've really overcome. And this has helped me do it. It's not caring what people think, because we get so caught up in, oh, what if they think we're ugly? What if this? What if that? And really, all it is our own thoughts, right? It's our own thoughts. We get in our own way. So, how do you get out of your own way? How do you get unstuck? How do you move forward? The answer is really simple. You do it scared. You do the thing that you're afraid to do anyway. And any place in our lives that we have fear or we're uncomfortable, that is an indication of somewhere that we aren't free. Somewhere that one of my children are here. Hello, I'm doing a video. I'll be right there. Love you. Is an indication that we're not free. So, therefore, if you want to become free of that thing, you must act in it. So, this process has been just that, me acting through it. Now, what's really interesting too, something that I've struggled with a little bit, is nobody seeing these and then asking again, what's the point? What's the point? Why am I doing this? Why do this? Because, it's not going to get the views, and maybe it never gets views. Maybe I never grow. Maybe nothing ever changes. Well, firstly, it's doing it for myself because this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I just haven't felt like I'm ready, haven't felt like I have the right stuff, haven't felt like I'm in the right place, don't feel like I have anything to say. So the number one thing was just overcoming my own insecurities and doing this thing anyway, doing it scared. And what's really interesting is I was on a podcast just yesterday with a guy named Nick Darland, and he said this thing which was really powerful for me. I wrote it down here, and it says, "It's not about being well known, but being worth knowing." And that really struck a chord with me because I was like, oh, wow. I think so many of us get caught up in the fact of we want to be famous or we want to be successful or whatever. But what if we just thought of it through a different way, through a different lens? What if we changed our perspective? And what if we worked on being worth knowing? And the funny part about that is, if you want to work on being worth knowing, then you first have to be worth knowing to yourself. So where do you start? You have to start with going within. You have to start with knowing yourself. And this is something that I have really struggled with for a long time, because I grew up in a conservative Christian home where I was taught, you are desperately wicked, you deserve hell, nothing you do is ever good, you are a terrible person, and that's all you need to know about yourself. You don't need to know anything else, you just need to know that you're wicked and there's nothing that you can do to save yourself. So what does that give you? What is that? That created a person who is depressed, that created a person who was very disempowered, who didn't make good choices, who struggled for a long time. And when I started questioning that belief, when I started looking inward and realizing that, oh wow, it starts with yourself, it starts with loving yourself. And I'm going to share another quote from Ram Dass that just came up to me recently, which is, I can do nothing for you but work on myself. You can do nothing for me but work on yourself. So again, what does it start with? It begins with you. It begins with you doing the thing that you're scared to do. So this whole thing, the 79 days of doing it scared, is literally about stepping into this different version of you that you're not familiar with, that you don't know. And the only way you can get to know a different version of yourself is by experiencing it. It's also about going through the hard of being kind of crappy at whatever that thing is. Maybe you get on a camera and you stutter and and you don't feel like you have anything to say. Well, you've got to start somewhere, right? And maybe that's where it starts. Don't look at where everyone else is on their journey. Use them as inspiration, but don't use them as comparison, for you are on your own journey. It's really easy to stop and not do something because you say, well, that person is doing it better, and this person is doing it better, and that other person is doing it better than me. Why should anybody listen to me? Why should I even try? Because there's already somebody doing it. Well, here's the thing. If there's some piece of you that thinks that you should try this thing, well, then you should. That's simple. If you want to do it, you should try to do it. Period. It's that simple. If you want to do it, you should try to do it. And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. And if you start taking action on one of your dreams or one of the things that you want to do, you'll get a lot closer to that version of you that exists in that. And here's the thing too, you might start the thing and realize, oh, this is not even what I expected it to be, and this is not what I want at all. And that's okay too. But you won't know unless you do the thing, unless you start. So my challenge to you is, first, get to know yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, and non-judgment. Give yourself grace. We've all made terrible choices in our lives. We've all made mistakes. 2, take responsibility for your life. Fully take responsibility for the good, the bad, the ugly. Take responsibility for it all, and realize that you have a choice moving forward, that you can create a future that you like to live in, that you want to live in, instead of a present where maybe you don't want to live in. But it starts with changing that mindset. It starts with getting to know yourself. So there might be past trauma that you have to heal. There might be a lot of little work that you have to do, but that's what it takes. And if you really want something better, something that looks better, something that feels better, you have to start with knowing yourself. So work on healing your trauma. And then a big part of this is just doing the thing scared. All of it. Working on your trauma is a scary thing. Working through shame is a scary thing. Working through guilt is a scary thing. It's not an easy, happy, oh yeah, everything's great. You sit and meditate and everything feels great. No, a lot of times it's painful. Like, you have to go through these thoughts about yourself, this judgment toward yourself, this judgment that you feel like society is putting on you, and you have to overcome it. You have to step out of it. But the only way to do that is first look inward and first do the thing scared. I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you even making it through this video and knowing that there's a part of you that wants to do something more, that wants to do something bigger, and you just haven't taken that first step. Well, this is your sign to take the first step, to do it scared, to do it sloppy, to do it messy, to not worry about the outcome, to not worry about what people think, but to just simply put in the reps, to get used to doing the thing. I saw a great video the other day that talked about how we can develop habits a little bit easier instead of just using willpower. It's by starting small. It's by starting with incremental steps, right? So if you want to work out every day and you haven't worked out every day for your whole life or for the last 5 years or the last 6 months, but you want to work out, you want to get in that habit, well, you first start with something really small and attainable. That's doing 5 push-ups every day. And then you congratulate yourself and you celebrate that I did that 5 push-ups that I committed to, right? And then you add on to that 5 squats. 5 push-ups, 5 squats. Then you add on 5 pull-ups or whatever it is. Just simply start with something small. Don't start with I have to work out an hour a day every single day for every day of the week. Just start small. You don't need to accomplish that thing. And here's the thing, we underestimate how much we can do in 5 years, and we overestimate what we can do in a year. Small incremental steps over time. And it stinks. It stinks that, that's kind of how humans work. And it stinks that we can't just snap our fingers and do the thing and be where we want to. I think we can. But first, there's a lot of limiting beliefs that you have to overcome. And the only way you can overcome those limiting beliefs is by getting to know yourself and getting to know where those limiting beliefs are. And then you have to start replacing those 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, those limiting beliefs with something better. I'm not good enough. Is that absolutely true? Can you know that? Why aren't you good enough? Who said that? Where did that thought come from? I'm willing to bet that it came from society, or it came from you not showing up for your parents, or you having a hard time in school, or whatever it was. That does not make you not good enough. Just because you struggled doesn't make you not good enough. In fact, I think it's the exact opposite. Your struggle is what creates you, is what makes you into a better human being. The struggle is necessary. We don't, as much as we think we want an easy life, as much as we think, oh, it'd be so great to be sipping mimosas on the beach all day and you under the sun and not worrying about anything and just having money come in and not doing anything. Like, yeah, sure, maybe we'd like that for a year. Maybe we'd like that for 2 years. Maybe we'd like that for 3 years. But I promise you, eventually you will get bored of that thing, and then you will need to fulfill your life with something else. You will create other problems. You will create other drama, because without the struggle, we don't have a story. You need the struggle. You need the something to overcome, to have purpose, to have meaning, to feel like you're in this life doing something that you love. You need the struggle. It's really hard to be grateful for the struggle, because when you're in it, it feels so tough to get through. And trust me, I have struggled with depression. I've tried to commit suicide twice, so I get the struggle. I understand. And yes, I'm a white male, and I get that all the privileges I've had, but my life has still been hard. I've suffered with abuse, and I've gone through a lot. And here I am now, and I'm not exactly where I think I want to be. I don't have the success I want. I don't have the money I want. I'm not there. But I can see myself, and it's just a little small glimmer of hope that I can see myself healing. I can see myself overcoming all these obstacles, and I can see myself stepping into a new version of me that I'm unfamiliar with. I was addicted to depression. I was addicted to anxiety, and now I'm stepping out of those addictions. I'm stepping into, oh, you know what, this depressing thought, I don't need it. Sometimes I sit in it. Sometimes I put on a sad music and I cry and I love it. It's crazy, but just it's what I'm used to. So it's okay. Give yourself grace. Don't judge yourself. Take small little steps. Do the thing scared. Thank you for watching. I hope that you are having a beautiful day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are, that you know you are loved and enough. That's the thing. It has to start with you understanding that you know that you are loved and enough, because you cannot act in your best interest if you don't think you're worth loving and you don't think that you're enough. You cannot act in your best interest. So in order to act in your best interest, in order to act out and to work out, to eat healthy, you have to realize that you are worth it. You have to realize that you are worth it. So this is your sign that you are worth it, that you can do the thing scared, and that you don't have to judge yourself, because it is okay. We're all humans. Everyone struggles. No one has it figured out, and that is okay. You are on your own journey. You are on your own path. You must simply step into the next day, one step forward, one small step forward. You've got this. I am cheering for you. I am rooting you on. Whatever I was trying to do, I don't know.